Yo guys, it's Kage Wants to Battle here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Zoroark, as you can obviously see. I mean, it's on the screen. So, um, Zoroark, he's arguably my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. So, you know, he's got a special place in my heart. And his ability, I'll go ahead and explain his ability for you guys. If you don't know what it does, he disguises himself as Pokemon that's in the last slot in your party. So whenever you send him out, he will first be disguised as whatever Pokemon is in your last slot. Now he'll still have access to all his moves, all his stats are the same. He just looks like the other one. You know, same item, everything. So, it's nice for tricking your opponent into thinking he's a different type or whatever, they're not gonna expect it. I mean, they're gonna see you have a Zoroark on team preview, so they're gonna ask themselves, is this the Zoroark or is it not? But they're not gonna know for sure. So the thing is though, if he takes some damage, he's gonna change back into looking like a regular old Zoroark. But to start out at least, he's gonna look like the opponent, or not the opponent. He's not Ditto. He's gonna look like the Pokemon in your last slot. So you know, it's great, and we'll get into more of the strategy behind that. But for now, let's jump into his EVs. We're gonna be doing two sets today. We're gonna be doing a choice set and a more of a mixed attacker set. So as for this one, we're gonna max his special attack, we're gonna max his speed, and now the extra points, this is where, you can throw it in wherever you want. I tend to just throw it in HP. I know for X and Y, you get more out of it if you go on a defense because it sets to level 50, but I usually just train mine in HP instead because I feel like level 100 will come back. I feel like level 50 is not going to be the main, but I could be wrong. But HP, it's whatever. I'd either go in defense, probably not special defense. I'd probably go defense or HP. But however, this set does have an option to run one physical move. So if you want to throw it in attack, there's nothing wrong with that. And in fact, that's what I did with the one I bred on the Y. So it's perfectly fine to throw it in there. As for the nature, however, you're going to be running either timid if you're not running the option of the physical move, which I'll explain that later when we get into the moveset, or you're going to go naive. And that just depends on if you're running one move or not. Honestly, if you want to run timid with the move, it'd be fine. Make a lot more sense if I go ahead and tell you the move. For this slot here, he has the option to either go with well, it's U-turn. U-turn's the only physical move that he'll be using. So it's up to you whether you want to run timid or naive. I don't recommend increasing his special attack because he's going to want some speed, and nor does he really need the boost to his special attack. I mean, he's got a base 120. He's pretty good. So I'd go with either timid or naive. That's just me, but that's what I'd go with. So I'm just gonna lock in naive for now, and we're gonna look at the rest of his moveset. As for his moves, he typically runs on this set at least, he always runs Focus Blast. Now that's gonna hit particularly steel types pretty hard. It's gonna hit other dark types, and it provides great coverage with the rest of his moves. As far as his stab move of choice, you have the choice of either Dark Pulse, which is 80 base power, 100% accurate, and has a 20% chance to flinch. That flinch chance is nice. Now that's not the reason I usually prefer it over his other option, but that flinch chance is nice. Every now and then you're just like, oh, thank you. Because I mean that flinch, it can come in real handy every now and then. By no means should you rely on that flinch chance, but you know, if you're in a dire situation, you know, you might come out on top because of a flinch. So, Dark Pulse is his first option, and the option I usually go with is Dark Pulse. Now, however, his other option is Night Daze. Night Daze, it's got 5 more power, but 5 less accuracy. And it's got a 40% chance to lower their accuracy. Now, lowering their accuracy is pretty nice. I don't know if I like it as much as a flinch, because flinch is nice. But it does have a 40% chance as opposed to 20. So, on that, it's honestly preference. But the reason I recommend running Dark Pulse instead is because Night Daze is Zoroark's signature move. No other Pokemon can learn it. So therefore, when you're disguised, if you use Night Daze, they automatically know it's a Zoroark because no other Pokemon can learn Night Daze. So, you know, it gives it away. But other than that reason right there, it's purely a matter of preference because, I mean, their power's so similar. I mean, it's only 5 more, yet it's got 5 less accuracy, and honestly, accuracy can be a big one. I mean, I know it's got 95, but that 5% to miss, when it misses, you're gonna cry because it's gonna be like, oh my gosh, I only had a 5% chance to miss, and what did I do? Miss? Yeah, it's gonna happen from time to time because it's not 100%. So you gotta expect it to miss every now and then, and that's the downside of Night Daze. But it is stronger by a little bit, and it's also got a higher chance to do stuff, and it lowers accuracy, so that's not bad. So for his last slot, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and change that back to Dark Pulse while I'm at it. But for his last slot, you're gonna want to either run Flamethrower, because that takes care of bug types, it takes care of steel types. It's a very nice move. It's good coverage. It can, you know, once again, it helps, all the moves can help with him being disguised. I mean, you can throw him out, disguise him as a fire type, use Flamethrower. They don't think twice. I mean, it seems like you're just a regular old fire type using Flamethrower. Same here, you know. Throw him out as someone who typically uses Focus Blast. You know, look at him, he's just a normal Focus Blast user. You know, you don't think twice about him being a Zoroark. You know, a great one to disguise him is Infernape, because he can learn Flamethrower and Focus Blast, and on his special variant, he runs both usually, so, you know, disguise him as Infernape. That seems like a regular old Infernape using Focus Blast and Flamethrower, so, you know, as long as you don't use Dark Pulse, they'll be convinced you're an Infernape. But then they switch in their Psychic type to take you out, and you hit them up with a Dark Pulse, and they're surprised. That and the fact that their Psychic move had no effect on you. Granted that they're faster, not a lot of things get faster. Zoroark's, he's got speed. He's got speed for days. I mean, base 105, you'll be maxing it, giving that nature boost, and it's great. Another option though, however, instead of Flamethrower, is Grass Knot, which that's good for taking out, the water types, the ground types, the water ground types, like what, Shallow, Slime, Swamperts, Seismitoad, whatever. It's good for taking out some bulky, grass, or not grass, some bulky water ground types, so, it's a good move. It's an option. Keep it in mind. Now, however, as I explained, there's another option here for U-turn, and that would be Trick, spelled with a CK, not a V. Now, Trick, basically, it swaps your items with your opponents. This is nice because, as I said earlier, this is a choice variant, and you're gonna either be running choice Specs or choice Scarf. It's up to you. It's whether you want to be faster or stronger. Now, however, I will point out, if you're running choice Scarf, U-turn is my preferred option, but if you're running choice Specs, Trick is my preferred option. Now, that doesn't mean you can't run Specs with U-turn or Scarf with Trick. It works. That's just my personal preferred option because, Specs doesn't give a boost to U-turn, and Scarf with U-turn, it lets you make sure you hit him and get out of there, because Zoroark's not tanky in the least. He's very frail. He's a great revenge killer. He's a glass cannon. He's not, he's not going to be tanking much. So, keep that in mind when using them. And as far as the choice between choice Scarf and choice Specs, like I said, I prefer Trick with Specs and U-turn with Scarf, but that's just my personal opinion. They work with the other option. I mean, Specs will run U-turn fine, Scarf will run Trick fine. Scarf will run Trick a little better than Specs will run U-turn maybe. I don't know, it's just personal preference, honestly. This is just me spouting my opinion. But as for that, this does it for this variant of Zoroark. So, we're gonna move on to Mix Attacker Zoroark. Now this guy, he's not gonna be choiced. He's gonna be running a Life Orb. So we're just gonna go ahead and put that on there. He doesn't really have any other options apart from Life Orb. So as for the moveset, this one we're probably gonna want to max his attack and speed, and then throw the extra in special attack for sure. And nature, naive, yeah, because you definitely don't want timid, and you don't really care about boosting your attack with naughty or anything. I mean, I guess naughty could be an option, but naive's definitely probably what you want because speed. So as for that, we're gonna move on to moveset, and he's gonna be running some similar moves. He's gonna be running there was supposed to be a C there. Focus Blast, and he's gonna be running Flamethrower and or Grass Knot like the other one. You know, because he's mixed. He does what he wants. You know, there's still solid coverage moves. His special attack's still amazing. So, you know, Flamethrower, Grass Knot in that slot. Now, however, for Focus Blast, he does get access to Low Kick. So if you want to go even more on the specials or physical side, Low Kick's an option. It's less reliable because it's going to be doing more damage against the heavier guys. It's going to be doing significantly less against the lighter targets because its power is based on how heavy your opponent is. So I tend to go with Focus Blast, but keep in mind Low Kick does have a way better accuracy. Focus Blast, or Focus Miss as I typically like to call it, tends to never hit when I need it to, but you know, it comes around every now and then. So I typically prefer it because it has a more consistent power, but its accuracy is not very consistent. So that's preference there. Just keep that in mind. He's got those options. And as for his stab move, he typically runs a couple on this. And because he has no need for a trick, because he's not using a choice item, because you know, it's not as useful. And he doesn't typically need U-turn as much. I mean, I suppose he could make use of it, but it's his move slot's better used for some other things. So as for his stab moves, we're gonna go with Sucker Punch. This is great, you know, it's 80 base power, priority move. Keep in mind, it's not gonna hit him if they use a status move, but otherwise, if they're attacking you, you're gonna hit them first, and you're gonna hit them hard. Because Sucker Punch is it's an amazing move. Now, however, as your other stab move of choice, we're gonna be going with Knockoff, because as everyone knows, Knockoff got a beautiful boost this gen and is an amazing move. Knockoff, if you don't know what it does, it's got a 65 base power, and it multiplies by 1.5 if your opponent is holding an item. Now, in competitive play, everyone should be holding an item unless they've already consumed it, like a Citrus Berry or, you know, a Focus Sash. But if it's a Focus Sash, they're on 1 HP anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, what I can think of is a Citrus Berry, or I don't know, any other consumable item, honestly. But otherwise, everyone's going to be having an item, unless, like I said, they've already consumed it. That's the only excuse you're going to have for not having an item. Otherwise, they just forgot their item, because there's no reason you shouldn't run an item on a Pokemon. Oh, and plus, after it hits them and does that multiplied 1.5 damage, it knocks off their item, so they don't get their item no more. It's especially good on Pokemon who are more reliant on their item. You know, maybe they're getting that leftover recovery and they're, you know, super defensive. Maybe they got a choice item, you know, knock it off, there goes their boost. Maybe they got an Assault Vest and they're relying on that for their special side. Boom, your special side's weak now. You know, whatever. It's an amazing move. He gets stab off of it. He gets practically an automatic 1.5 boost to it, because everyone should be running an item in competitive play. And it's 65 base power. And 65 base power normally wouldn't be amazing, but you're multiplying it by 1.5 twice because he gets stab, and then he gets the boost because they got an item. So it's a strong move at the end of all that. So, you know, that's a great option. So, honestly, as for mixed attack Zoroark, this about does it. You know, I don't have much more to say about Zoroark other than he's an amazing Pokemon, and you should definitely consider getting one. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, month, life, week, year, whatever the heck you're supposed to say. I need to quit ripping other people off. Alright, anyways, that was supposed to be a joke, because I did Zoroark, and making a reference to another guy who quite likes Zoroark. I heard he likes the Zoroarks. But anyways, catch you guys later. If you like this video, give it a like, give it a subscribe if you want to see when I come out with another one, and comment on what you'd like to see me do next, because I'm just spitballing. I just decided to do Zoroark randomly, so I did it. But if there's any you guys would like to see me do, leave it in the comments. You got anything else to say? Comment section. You want to say hi? Comment section. There's a comment section. You know, say whatever you want. It's a free country. It's free internet for now. So, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.